So FeiyuTech made a sequel to the SCORP. It's the SCORP 2, Gimbal's Revenge. And that original SCORP was a fantastic gimbal for bigger cameras, but they took that and also added some incredible features. And then they were like, while we're at it, let's make the SCORP 2 Mini as well. So you won't be expecting some of these really cool features, so let's just get right to it. By the way, welcome to the channel. My name's Danny Black. I love to share with you cool gear that comes my way. If you're new here and you like that kind of stuff, don't be a stranger. I'll put links to everything down in the description, plus a surprise link. And on this channel, it's not about trying to get you to go out and spend your money. I just want to show you the cool gear that's out there, tell you what it does, tell you how it works, how it feels, and show you where you can get it, and then you can decide for yourselves. And so before we get into some of the really cool features, let's just go ahead and see what you get in the box. All right, so in the box, we get the SCORP gimbal, which is actually really sleek looking. And there is a lot going on here, but we'll get into all of that. It also does come with a little tripod, a mounting plate for smaller cameras, a mounting plate for shooting vertical videos, a mounting plate for bigger cameras with bigger lenses, and all of the cables that you need to be able to plug in your camera directly to the gimbal and also charge the gimbal itself. There is a quarter thread at the bottom of here so that you can put on that little tripod, but one of the cool things is that you don't need that because it does come with little fold out legs so that you can actually stand this thing up in case you don't have a tripod at all. Super easy to unlock and lock in place. And I love these little measurement guides. So once you get it all balanced, you can actually put this little red dot on there. That way you know exactly where to put it every time. And you can see some USB-C ports so you can connect it to your camera. Also, you can connect other devices to charge and use this like a power bank. It supports cameras up to 2.5 kilograms. Now this is my smaller camera, but when I go out on the field, I'm gonna use my bigger FX30 and my more heavier Sigma lens. And as you can see, it works perfectly with that. You get a battery life of 13 hours of continuous use, and it supports fast charging. And really quickly, let's just see what comes in the SCORP Mini 2 box. With the SCORP 2 Mini, you actually get a nice little case with this, and opening this thing up, you can see there are a lot of accessories here. First of all, we got the SCORP 2 Mini, which is really nice and very lightweight. It's got a lot of the same bells and whistles as the SCORP 2, and this one also comes with a mini tripod, which is valuable because there aren't any fold-out legs on this one. And you also get all the cables that you'll need to plug this into your camera. You get a mount for your smartphone, a mount for a bigger camera, and you have this expandable module so that if you need to counterbalance the weight, this will work for that. You also get this little adhesive light that you can charge up and use as a key light. All right, so back to the SCORP 2. This is the bigger one, and there is so much going on here. But let me just start with some of my favorite features, and probably one of the biggest key features of all is that it has a sensor built right into it, and you can use that to track you. And not just track you right in the center, you can actually reframe it and do something like this, and then I can reframe it so that it keeps my head up a little bit higher on the frame. But it does a really good job tracking. You can also start and stop recording with your palm, and then if you wanted to stop following you just do something like this. Another really cool feature, if you have this connected with a cable or via Bluetooth, and a lot of times you have the record button on most gimbals, but this one has so that you can press half down to focus, like you would if you're using the actual record button. You can press it half down and it kind of focuses first. You can feel it, there's a half button and then a full button. The wheel on this thing is really cool. For one, you can actually change the different wheel settings right here on this button, and it will actually display on your screen whether it's roll, so you can do a roll wheel, tilt, or pan. And it's really smooth. So this has an updated technology to actually give you a little bit more stability. And I do like that you have a handle like this, you hold it like this, and it just even makes it more smooth so that if you're carrying it like a briefcase, you can get those low to the ground shots, and it just makes it so easy. That is so good. It has a really nice touchscreen on here as well, where you can go in and you can adjust the motor settings, the speed of how you follow. And so check out these scenarios right here. So you have time lapse where you can have either a motion lapse where you can set different waypoints. So you can go from here to here and then up. And then when you do that motion lapse, it'll actually run through that. You also have just a static time lapse and hyperlapse. There's the auto rotation, which is, like that Inception shot. But this one, it's great because it just keeps going and going. There's no end to the gimbal. It'll just keep going. But I love on here, there's even like a rotation speed, so you can even make it go faster or slower. And they have these custom ones where you can just press and it does it for you. It also has panoramic, where you can do a 3x3 panoramic shot or 180, or even go more custom with that. And if you scroll down further, you can go into portrait mode. So if you take this thing off, you could set it sideways and you can shoot things in portrait mode really quickly. And then there's track video, where if you have a really complicated shot, you can actually go through and set different waypoints for your videos. So it's like, we'll start this one right here, and then after 3 seconds, it's gonna go to this one over here. That way, if you kind of like being your own little robot arm. And where it makes that even cooler is if you're doing something with a lot of motion capture, you can like get the exact same shot every single time. On the front as well, there's A, B buttons, where you can actually set your shot. So if you go to this shot right here, I'll hold down the A, and it will actually set that as A, and then I'll go over maybe up here and hold down B, and it sets that as B. So if I click A, it's gonna go right over to A. And with that A, B, you can actually go through the A, B settings right there, and you can go like to an autofocus time, and you could change how long you want it to go between A and B. So if I wanted to go just 1 second, so ready, hit B, boom, 1 second, A. There's just a lot of ways to just be more calculated on using this. I also like that there's a FPV button over here, so that if maybe you're in pan follow and you're getting some more shots that are locked in place, you can actually quickly switch it over to FPV mode. That way you can kind of just freely move around, and then when you press FPV again, it goes back into that last mode that you had it in. You have an F1 and F2 like function buttons. F2 is already set to default as a lock screen for your screen, and if you hold it down, you can recalibrate your gimbal. The trigger on the front is just like most gimbals, where you can hold it to lock it in place, and then you can double tap it to go front and center, and then you can triple tap it to go to selfie mode. Hello. When you connect it to the FeiyuTech app, you just click to connect it. It's got Bluetooth. It's going to connect right away. And you can actually change what your trigger button does, like on a long press if you want it to just be like a pan tilt follow. And you can even go in and you can even move the gimbal around like this. You can also have access to the roll, which is really easy to use. I love that. You can actually see the image transmitted on this device. And also I love that you can set it so that it will actually follow the phone. So like all the information and gyroscope information on your phone, you can actually use that to get the shot. So if you're like, okay, let's get that. I want to get it right up there. Go up, pan over this way, down. Boom, boom, bah, boom, yeah. And a lot of what you see on the SCORP 2 comes in on the SCORP Mini as well, which is a great phone gimbal. You have basically just about everything that you have on the SCORP 2, except you don't have the stand-up legs, so you do need the tripod legs if you want to set this thing down. But this can support smaller mirrorless cameras with the smaller lenses, but you know, easily works with your phone, any action cameras. And I just have to say that they work really well. Like just going out and testing it, a lot of gimbals that I test on this channel, like it takes a little bit of a learning curve. This was actually really intuitive, really easy to set up and balance. Both of them are really easy to use. And I just love that little sensor on there that you can use to track yourself so you can do, you know, solo filming. And I love the design of this. I just think that it just makes it so much easier to get the shots when you have the two-hand system like that. I wanted to share this with you. I think it's a great gimbal. If you're looking for a gimbal for your bigger camera, or if you're looking for a gimbal for your smaller camera, great job, FeiyuTech. You nailed it with these. Great designs. I love them. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. A lot more cool gear to share with you coming up soon. So stay tuned and I'll see you next time. Bye. That's Formalities.